If you're a woodworker, the mitered dovetail is a joint that you need to know. Let me tell you why. If you're making a box, you're going to need a groove to slot the base into. And if you do this with normal through dovetails like this, as you can see, that groove then exposes itself on either the pins or the tails, depending on where you've cut it. And that's going to need to be plugged later. Unless, of course, you've planned ahead and you've used stopped grooves, but anyone who's done this before knows how challenging that can be. The mitered dovetail solves this by hiding the groove within the joint and comes with the added bonus of adding a beautiful mitre to the top of the box. Now, I'm not here to do a full tutorial showing how to cut this joint from start to finish. I've got videos on YouTube detailing that already, so go and have a look at those if you're interested. But I am here to show you our new mitre pairers that we've recently designed to make this joint attainable to anyone. But before I show you how it works, let me just preemptively address the critiques from the online woodworking purist community who will say that you don't need this. I agree with them. You can make these out of wood, and in fact the tutorials and projects I've used this joint in show me doing exactly that. But if you're a woodworker who doesn't have means of cutting an accurate 45-degree joint in thick material like this, or when you use these things you get annoyed when clamps start getting in the way of the chisel, or maybe you just can't be bothered to make one, this might be of interest to you. And if it isn't, feel free to scroll on. There is plenty of funny cat videos that are waiting for you. Okay, so I've just rough cut the mitres on, about 1 millimetre away from the line. This material is 15 millimetres thick, which is about 5/8 of an inch for those of you across the pond. So I'm using our large pairer for this. I'll explain more on that later. But this gets just clamped down, and as you can already see, this cutout in the middle is there to stop the clamp from intruding on the chisel, which is one of the most annoying things when you make these out of wood. So I'll just slide this up to the joint now and get it to roughly where I think it should be. And we can just put the chisel on here and check that it goes into the line. At the moment, it looks like it's just above it. You can see that it's sort of cutting another line above the marking gauge there. So I'll just slide this back a little bit and check again. There we go. It's exactly where we want it. Now, before I do this, there is a few things to be aware of. Firstly, make sure you're not taking off too much material all at once. What I've got left over here is about the maximum amount you would want to take off in one pass. Anything more than that, you'll want to do what I'm about to do in 2 different passes. Secondly, make sure your chisel's sharp. And thirdly, make sure the back of it is flat. Failing any 3 of those will result in this thing not working properly, and I will be very unhappy if you leave a bad review on our site because you failed to do one of these. These jigs are 45 degrees, you just need to use them properly. So, lots of pressure from above. And then we'll just start on the edge here and basically work across like this. And that's the mitre cut. It lines up perfectly with the marking gauge line at the top here. It went right down to the corner at the bottom. And you know, the nice thing about this jig is the fact it's got this side platform here. If you're making these out of wood, generally you're just clamping a 45-degree bit on top, which means when you go off the end of it, you're basically in no man's land and you could start diving in like that. Having this bit going down the edge here just gives you a bit of extra guidance when going down the cut, and it helps you kind of work across like you just saw me do. So this is the other one now. Very little needed on this. Oh, lovely. So we're doing the mating components now, the pins. Once again, starting on the edge, work down, and just be careful not to ding into the side of that pin there. Sorted. So there you go, there's the completed mitered dovetail. Perfect 45-degree joint between the 2 components, and a good general rule of woodworking is if you can close a gap with just the pressure of your hands, then you've done your job correctly. I really do think that mitered dovetails are very underutilized in woodworking compared to what they should be, because being able to hide a groove in a joint like that and get the added bonus of finishing off the top and the bottom with a mitre is a really nice feature, and it's all made possible with one of these. Now I'll leave it up to you whether you want to buy this one or whether you want to make one out of wood. But what I will say is we manufacture these for different thicknesses of materials, from 1/4 of an inch all the way up to 3/4 of an inch. And if you buy 3 of them in different sizes, or 3 of them in the same size, we'll send them to you in a free custom sized foam case, which you can use to protect them. And if you buy 5 of them, which is all the sizes, you'll get that free foam lined case and your 5th block for free. And so if you want to start using mitered dovetails in some of your projects, whether that's boxes, cabinetry or something else, consider getting one of these. It will make your life so much easier.